Hey, welcome back to Prince's Friend. You know what? I had to come back. It was such a blast to be on that last episode of my favorite award show performances. And I was glad to see Drea. I was glad to see Devin. And I was glad to see Aloy come out. I was like, everyone's kind of reuniting. But I figured since Devin shared her story about the time she saw Prince at the Arsenio Hall show, I would share one of my stories, and especially with this time of year, and Happy New Year to everyone, by the way, but this time of year is football frenzy, and of course, close to Super Bowl. Now, I'm not here to brag, and I'm not here to rub it in, but I was fortunate enough to go to Miami to see the Super Bowl in '07, and of course, see Prince perform, which is probably his most iconic performance of all time. So I'm here to tell you little bits and pieces of what happened on that weekend, how I got there, and how did the Prince world fit in. So welcome to another episode of Prince's Friend. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, likes, notifications. There's some great stuff on here. So it's so hard to believe it's 2022. So I'm trying to do the math. I think it's 15 years. Oh my gosh. Being a Prince fan for all these years and being able to tell these stories now has just, lit me up to the point going, I can't believe I've gone through these events and gone through these phases. And to give you a background on how this all started was for about 20 years, I worked in the beer industry here in Phoenix, Arizona. And I was working as a rep for a beer distributorship. And at the time, of course, beer goes hand in hand with football. And Coors Light was the sponsor of the NFL. So the distributorship here in town pretty much had a contest that was going on that was giving a chance for reps at our local distributorship to go to the Super Bowl. Now, I didn't know how the points were or how the running was going, but all I know is I sold a lot of Coors Light at the end of 2006. So I knew Prince was going to be there. I knew he was going to be performing, but also I am a Chicago Bears fan. My wife is from Illinois. I'm from Arizona, but the Cardinals haven't been that great. So now it's vice versa. So I'm not going to get into sports in here and everything, but I was, over surprised that the Bears made it to the Super Bowl to face the Indianapolis Colts, which Peyton Manning was still a part of. So enough of my ESPN report. What ended up happening was I got a call from Coors Light headquarters, and they basically said, "Hey man, congratulations, you're going to the Super Bowl." And I said, "What? Are you serious? Is this?" And they're like, yeah, expenses paid. And we actually stayed in Fort Lauderdale. I was just over the moon when I heard the news. All my buddies are going, "Dude, you're going to go see the Chicago Bears." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm going to see Prince." So I told my wife about that, and it was like an early birthday present for her. And of course, in my mind, it was more just about being apart with my coworkers and everything that was on the line. But in the back of my brain, it's all about going to see the man. Here's some of the short stories of of what I experienced. If you've ever had a Super Bowl in your town. The whole city shuts down. I live in Phoenix, and the Super Bowl's been here at least 3 or 4 times, and it's just like everything is just boom. If the Super Bowl is in your town, it's huge, especially for you guys, like who had it in Minneapolis the year after he passed, and it's crazy. It's absolutely, the whole town is just flooded with people and tourists. Got to go to a bunch of parties. Got to meet Joe Montana from the 49ers. And yeah, pretty much when you're in a town that was Super Bowl, you're going to bump into somebody famous. I ran into Hulk Hogan and the Big Show from the WWE. Dennis Rodman was doing a party up the road. And my favorite story out of all of it was that we got to go to a sponsor party, which was from Pepsi. And it was this big outdoor concert. And the headliner was REO Speedwagon, the middle act was Blondie, and the opening act was New Edition. Unfortunately, Bobby Brown wasn't there, but it was New Edition, and I got to sing Poison and Cool It Now. I'm a huge New Edition fan as well too. Yeah, and it's just that whole weekend, it was just crazy, and just things rushing through my head, and it still didn't dawn on me, I'm going to see him again for almost the 13th time, but here in this venue, here at this stadium, and I didn't expect what was going to happen. So the day of the Super Bowl, we got on buses that took us out there, and we showed up at the stadium ahead of time and saw the players warm up left and right. And if you think seeing celebrities around the city is big, you should see it when you're at the game. I could not believe I ran into the Reverend Jesse Jackson, Emerald. Remember Emerald? Bam! The commissioner before Roger Goodell's, was Pete Tagliabue. Gloria Estefan sat 2 rows behind us in the box of the owner of the Miami Dolphins. I got to go to a party that had Stevie Nicks and Chris Isaak performing. Stevie Nicks and Prince in the same building. Man, my head was exploding. But running into a few Comedy Central stars here and there, and it was surreal, but it was so fast. And just football fans around everywhere. Chicago, Indianapolis. So the time has come to where we go inside of the stadium, and we are seated, and we just kind of wait for everything to start itself out. Now, I'm not going to bore you about the game. We know the Bears did lose, but it was a very exciting kickoff return. But the very beginning of the game, Billy Joel sang the national anthem. I'm a big Billy Joel fan. Marlene Matlin was the one who was signing along with Billy Joel. And if you've never been at a stadium where the jet fighters fly over, man, you better be prepared, because, man, they flew over that stadium, just rotten, just boom, just blew my eardrums out almost. So we go for a full half of football. They would show people on the big screen on the jumbotron of who would be in this stadium. So I saw like Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore and Bruce Willis and John Travolta. Christian Slater. There were people everywhere. This is what I'm here to talk to you about, is what you've seen over and over as a Prince fan. But before the halftime hit, you could see off into the tunnels people that were moving the cymbal stage out in getting ready to come out. As soon as like that clock hit and the players left the field, boom, they just wheeled out, and you just saw this puzzle piece of the shape of the symbol come out. And I think that's the first time we ever saw his stage as the love symbol. Again, as we are getting ready, we are noticing, it's starting to sprinkle a little bit. And I'm lucky enough that I was underneath an awning. So basically there was like a balcony above us, so I didn't get rained on. Sure enough, they did the same exact telecast as they would on TV on the big screens, and now the Pepsi halftime show, and when the music started, it threw me off because they were playing "We Will Rock You" by Queen. But of course, if you're a true Prince fan, you know that last line was "Rock this house till the wheels fall off." I think that's how it, rock this house till the wheels fall off. I go, oh, okay, I can get with this. And then it was really, really dark and really, really foggy, and the rain started to pick up. And then the symbol outlined it, and then you heard, "Dearly beloved," we all went nuts. We all went crazy. I could see him from a vantage point that was, not as close as most of you all saw on TV, but still, the electricity in there was just astounding. But what blew my mind away, there was a lot of people that had to go out for concessions. I'm like, you're missing this? Come on, man. He did all of his songs, blew my mind away with Along the Watchtower. And then all of a sudden, I noticed when he sang Along the Watchtower and that Foo Fighters song, it started to come down. And then I noticed, like, what happened to his do-rag, okay? Remember, Devin hates the do-rag. But we noticed that, what happened to his do-rag? And all of a sudden, I kind of looked through the lights, and it's just starting to show. I'm like, uh-oh. I hear him play the first chord of Purple Rain, and I go, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm here. Rain, Purple Rain. It was unbelievable. Of course, you guys have seen it over and over and over. It's one of his most watched clips on YouTube. It was gorgeous. And I believe he requested it. Like the tour manager says, can you make it rain harder? And he got his wish because it was just a downpour during that song. And people were down around the cymbal portion of it, waving back and forth, getting soaked. It was unbelievable. Now, I did find something interesting at the very end of the game was when I took the tour bus back to the hotel, I found this plastic disc that was a light that you basically it was supposed to be a certain section that people were supposed to put them up, and it was supposed to spell out the word Prince, but it didn't happen. And someone left it on the bus. But I sold it on eBay probably about a year afterwards. Got a good price for it, but man, do I wish I still have it. If those of you know what I'm talking about collector-wise, it's a little small like LED light, and it has a small symbol on it. And you can research that. It was a section of people that had these. It wasn't purple lights. It was just an LED light that had a small symbol on it. Comment below, and I can find you the link about that as well too. But I know I found one of those and I sold it. So if you bought it for me, congratulations. That was my experience at the 2007 Super Bowl. Of course, the Bears lost, and it would just poured more rain at the end of the game. But it's an experience I don't think it can top any concert I've been to of his, to be out there in the rain with him, because I don't think he's ever been in a situation where he's had a weather setting. He's mostly in his career played inside, but God bless him for doing that show. So yeah, hey, I hope you guys have a wonderful Super Bowl. I hope everyone has a wonderful New Year. And I might be back for one more story. But again, I want to thank Prince's Friends so much for letting me come on here and share some of my greatest moments of the past. And yeah, I'm one of those guys that got to go to the Super Bowl. It couldn't have been more special than I got to go see who I wanted to see. Thank you for your time. And do me a favor, like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Check out Prince's Friend on Patreon as well too, and give him the support he needs. Other than that, like he always says, may you live to see the dawn. Peace and be wild, and love for one another. Thanks for having me again. Happy New Year, guys, and happy Super Bowl.